So Michael Siegel would like to know, did Earth 66 survive the reboot? And also, what Earth would the Gotham series and the Dark Knight trilogy be set in? And he
Oh,
wants to add, thank you for everything you've done for the fans.
oh, well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it very much. No, my general sort of rule is all the Earths that got destroyed were reconstituted when the multiverse got reconstituted. And the reason for that is that I didn't feel like it was our place to destroy the universes of that created by other people. Similarly, I don't feel like it's my place to dictate an Earth designation for things like we'll call it the Nolan verse. I will say that with a couple of exceptions, but generally speaking, our naming convention was based upon the year the property came out. So it would have been Gotham came out during the second season of Arrow, which was, I don't know, I gotta count, that's math, but you can IMDb that. Same thing for when Batman Begins came out. The only time we didn't do that is when there was like an overlap. Or if we had some cheeky, Easter eggy kind of thing. But generally speaking, the Earth designations were based on the years of premiere.
Awesome. Ken Reed would like to know, why was Oliver written so much like Bruce Wayne instead of the funny and more comedic Oliver from comic books and from Smallville? Great
question. Well, for one thing, and by the way, I get a lot of questions / criticism for this. It wasn't, by the way, it wasn't so much that we were trying to make him like Bruce Wayne. Actually, kind of, to be honest with you, kind of the opposite. The thing about Bruce is he comes back from his training, and this is comics, this is Batman Begins, this is, every iteration. He comes back and he's kind of laser focused. He goes through his, formative period where he's learning to be Batman. He comes back and he's kind of the best version of himself. We wanted actually our Oliver to be suffering from PTSD. We wanted you to go, wait, what happened during those preceding 5 years? How badly did that screw him up? So, I mean, there's a Bruce Wayne aspect, in the sense that they're both orphans, they're both wealthy, in the comics, he had an arrow cave, an arrow jet, an arrowmobile. As far as why not wisecracking and stuff, it would have been antithetical to our, hyper grounded approach. We were going for dark. We were going for, mysterious and moody and, it's funny. The Green Arrow that I know, that I sort of fell in love with was the Green Arrow of Longbow Hunters, the Mike Grell Green Arrow, who, when I read it as a teenager, he never struck me as being particularly lighthearted or funny. But I know that version of Green Arrow exists and is beloved by a certain segment of fans. I won't say it's a large segment of fans, because if that were true, Green Arrow would be as popular as Wolverine in sales. But certainly there's a small but very vocal segment of the Green Arrow fandom that, misses the goatee and the Robin Hood hat and the liberal politics. And look, hey, like I said, you guys know, anyone who follows me on Twitter knows I'm as far left as it gets. But that character wouldn't have been consistent with the, sort of really dark, post-traumatic stress version of Oliver Queen that we were going for.
Yeah, and I definitely think that a boxing glove arrow probably wouldn't have served him too well in the series.
Well, but there was a boxing glove arrow when they had that introduction of Wildcat.
Yeah.
So you were still paying
right.
homage to that.
Well, I think, it's that was Keto Shimizu, who came up with that. And I love her for it. I love her for many reasons. But when I saw that in her draft, I was so happy. And here's the thing, like there are Silver Age conceits that you can do in the modern day, and you can even do consistent with sort of a darker, more grounded take. It took us 3 years to kind of, get there, to come up with that idea. Also, I think, if we had done that in the second episode of the first season, I think it would have sent the wrong tonal message about what we were going for. But by the time we did it in the beginning of, towards the beginning of season 3, I felt like, we had earned it from a tonal perspective.
Right. I actually completely forgot about that until Chris brought it back up. I mean, holy crap. I've totally slipped my mind.